Okay. This is going to be recorded. Sorry if this audio is not synced up properly. I am recording this on a separate device and then adding this in post because my usual microphone that I would use to record this is broken. Um, Hello, Professor. This is my final project for CGT 215. When I had submitted this, I said I was going to make a dungeon, quote unquote, mostly just going to make a thing where you walk into the walls of the screen, it changes the scenery of the room, and then it places like a piece of loot somewhere on the screen, and then you can go in there and you can collect it, and I have it set so that I have a win condition now. Down here. So once you reach 10 loot, you won. And it puts a victory screen in there. Here's just a quick scroll through of all my code. It's nothing crazy. And you can look through it if you would like to. But let's just go right in. Yeah. So there's a little thing, you can control it with the arrow keys. You have a loot plundered screen up here. This just kind of tells you what to do if you're starting off. You move to the sides of the screen to enter new rooms, collect loot. And then once you go over the chest, you see the loot thing goes up, and if you go over it, you don't get any more. And there's also a rooms cleared tab. So whenever you enter a new room, it goes through. It spawns a chest over here. We can grab that. We can go up. We can grab that one. You can go through here, grab this one. This is the one room it kind of gets cut off. On there, that's 5. And then it resets, so it scrolls back to the first room that would have. These rooms are seated, so the loot will always spawn in the same place. You can go up here and grab this one. Back here, grab that one in the center. Over here, grab this one on top of there. And then we can grab the final piece of treasure right there. And then it says you won! You got all the loot. And then that is essentially the end of the program. That is just the quick overview of my code. It was kind of difficult trying to figure out. I spent a lot of time trying to get the rooms to switch off, and then the loot itself was an entirely separate problem, which I managed to finagle by doing a lot of basically do once integers that I made myself. Especially to try to keep the lag down, because you can see once you get towards the end there, it begins to lag a lot. And I've tried to solve that by making it so when one floor is done, it deletes the previous floor that would have been there, right? So if room number is 1, which means it has to go to this altar room, which was the one with the little box with the star on it in the middle, right? That removes the physics body of floor 4, which, if you were to get all the way into here, would have created the 4th floor, which is the storage room, along with all the crates and chests. And you would withdraw it, and then this would remove it. And it is supposed to go in a loop. The loot is also set to spawn when the different room numbers are there. It will add the loot sprite in the specific areas. This probably wouldn't be too difficult to make it randomly generated. I didn't have the time with figuring out how to get all the loot spawned and finagling with the room and trying to clear some of the lag issues. The win condition itself was already kind of messy because I didn't want to strobe. I didn't want you to have a epilepsy episode looking at it, because when I tried to do some of this code originally, the screen just flashed, and it was really hard to look at, and frankly just really uncomfortable. It did not look good at all. So I had to finagle with this as well to get it to appear that way. I messed with some of the text color things, and then added a win condition. Overall, though, it is pretty scalable, because if you ever want to add another room, you can literally just add it down the list and increase the counter for it. And same with the loot. You can go down and you can just add the loot again. I have this loot once, specifically, because there was a weird glitch where it says to remove the physics body sprite, but it wouldn't remove it. It would stay there anyway, and that was part of the reason why messing with the loot sprite itself was so difficult, was because even though it was saying it would remove it, it wouldn't actually remove it, and it would still be there. And so when you'd pass over it, it would give you like 100 to 200 something like points to your loot value. Because it's supposed to give you once. It's supposed to be loot plus 1. So I had to add this loot once value, so that if this is at 0, which means that you haven't looted the chest in the room, you could take it, and then it would give you a single value and then tick up so that it wouldn't do that anymore. But yeah, that is my project. And hopefully you enjoyed. Only other thing I can think of is technically any room will always go to the next room no matter where you enter from. It will always go in this pattern, where it will go from altar room to barracks to cold room to storage room and then back. It does not matter where you enter from, and the loot will always spawn in the same place as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed.